You call your feelings nonsense faster than you even notice them. On a call, you're interrupted for the third time in a row. You say briefly, "Yeah, it's fine," though your mouth's already gone dry. Someone fires a sharp remark at you in chat. Your fingers freeze over the keyboard for a second, and you type, "Haha, yeah, it happens." Your partner says something hurtful. You feel your jaw twitch, and you immediately exhale, "Oh, come on, it's nothing." Someone steps on your foot on the bus and doesn't even say sorry. You automatically say, "No big deal." You notice everything, every time you act like nothing happened. By the end of this video, it will be clearer what exactly you're doing to yourself in those seconds when you say, "It's nothing, never mind," and how that's different from the calm you usually claim to have. You're on a work call. The third person in a row cuts you off mid-sentence. You take another sip from the water cooler. It doesn't refresh, it just leaves your mouth dry and gives you the feeling you swallowed air. The headset presses slightly at your ear, the plastic warm, almost sticky from long contact with your skin. Your phone vibrates briefly on the desk, a new message. You catch the notification out of the corner of your eye, but you don't even read the text. You say into the mic in a flat, almost polite voice, Yeah, sure, it's fine, go on." And while someone on screen is sharing their idea, your eyes are already flicking to the group chat icon. The cursor blinks in the input field. You type fast. You rephrase the idea the colleague who cut you off just voiced. You add one tiny detail of your own, just enough so it looks like your tweak. Dry statements, no emotion in the words. But while you tap away at the keyboard, your body behaves more honestly than you do. Shoulders slightly raised, breath shorter than it should be, fingers pressing harder than usual, the skin under the headset sweaty. It's all noted as if in passing, like a margin note. You register, yes, it's unpleasant, yes, it's stung. The next second, you make the face and voice you're used to making, a relaxed smile, a short, no hint of irritation. Chat sent. On screen, you are the model calm colleague. Only the scenery changes. At the store, the cashier snaps at you for standing in the wrong place, even though the line is a mess. You catch the unfair tone straight away, the sharp look, the tiredness on her face. Inside, a wave of protest rises. It immediately drowns in your automatic, "Sorry, it's fine, no big deal." At home, someone close makes a joking remark that actually stings. You instantly feel where in your chest something tightened, like someone poked it with a finger. You recognize exactly this is not just a joke, but out loud comes only, "Come on, I'm just tired today, don't worry about it." On the bus, an old man grumbles at you for wearing headphones, though you're not bothering anyone. You hear his tone, catch the contempt, know this isn't about you, but about his anger at the whole world. Your lips say the usual, "I understand, yeah, sorry," and you even give up your seat. Every time you register that you were hurt, awkward, rude, disrespectful, and each time your outward reaction smooths it into total flatness, sometimes even with a bonus of politeness and helpfulness. Other people look very similar, only the words are different. Someone, after a harsh comment from their partner about their appearance, instantly goes dim in their eyes, but immediately laughs nervously and replies, "Oh, come on, what nonsense, I'm not at all sensitive." In class, the teacher humiliates a student in front of everyone. The student freezes for a second, the pen tightens in their fingers, knuckles going white, and they joke back, "Well, hey, at least we won't fall asleep." The audience laughs, and they laugh with them. In the group chat, someone answers you roughly and condescendingly, and for a fraction of a second, it's as if the camera lingers on your face, jaw clenched, tongue pressed to the roof of your mouth, eyes a little narrow. But the message that goes out in response is a friendly emoji and something like, "It's all good, I'm not taking it seriously." "Oh, it's nothing," becomes the common password. "Come on, it's fine, I'm okay." No, it's fine, must have been my imagination." In these people, you can read the same trick perfectly. Between what was done to them and how they reacted, there's a small, almost invisible gap. The popular take on what's happening here sounds respectable enough. People talk about it as emotional maturity, like the skill of not blowing up conflicts, not making scenes out of nothing, not picking at small things. Advice repeats around you. Be above it, don't take the bait. A grown-up keeps a straight face. Don't waste yourself on nonsense. If someone says something hurt them, it's easy to answer, "You're taking things too much to heart. You need to take it easier." And when you smooth over the situation again, you already have a ready, rational caption for the moment. "I just don't want to dramatize. I know how to keep myself together. I'm not the kind of person who makes a scene." From the outside, everything looks neat. Fewer fights, fewer confrontations, fewer extra emotions. On the surface, a picture of adulthood. Then comes a strange stretch where nothing seems to change. Back in the office, you drink from the same cooler, feel the same dry mouth, like your throat is just a tube nothing sticks in. You adjust the headset again, the warm plastic pressing slightly at your ear. The phone vibrates on the desk, short, the same, like a metronome. Someone makes a mean joke, you say, "No big deal." Someone forgets your deadlines, you, "Yeah, it's fine, I'll adapt." Someone records your result as theirs, you, "Whatever, the main thing is it's done." The tempo builds, episodes flicker. No big deal, everything's fine, it's nothing, really. The same shoulder shrug, the same exhale, the same hand movement over the keyboard. No conclusions, just repeat, like day after day laying on top of each other and erasing differences between episodes.
And then the picture quietly flips. It turns out you're not extinguishing flashes of weakness inside you. You're not throwing out the chaotic, odd bits of your reaction. Every time someone treats you badly, you instantly, very precisely, and very clearly recognize it. You don't miss it. You're not noticing. You manage to feel it, directly, concretely, in your body and attention, that something just wasn't okay. And after that, seeing the situation clearly enough, you do something else. You deliberately erase your feeling, as if it's too small, wrong, awkward. Inside, something sounds like, "Yes, I didn't like it, but that's probably too much." And then you behave as if nothing happened, not because you didn't get it, but because you chose to pretend your accuracy was amiss. Then consequences start to surface that don't usually fit into the pretty picture of maturity. You start to wonder more and more, are you even feeling things correctly? When you're upset, instead of asking, "Why is this?" you ask yourself, "Am I overreacting?" Mild irritation becomes almost normal for you, like background noise. You stop catching the line where it's not just a trifle anymore, but a signal that boundaries are being crossed. Your body keeps giving clues. Your stomach tightens, shoulders tense. Rest doesn't bring rest. But in your head, the familiar autopilot switches on. Okay, don't dramatize, it's fine. At work, you increasingly pre-adjust to other people's version of how we're expected to react. If people around joke about what you call a problem, you start to think the problem is you. In relationships, you more often agree with someone else's description of how you behave than with your inner feeling. You kind of hand over the right of the first comment about yourself to other people. And the clearer you initially feel that something's wrong, the quicker and more practiced you are at nullifying it afterwards. Then the video seems to turn aside. It talks not about feelings anymore, but about sight, hearing, taste. You see people who train microsensitivity, a sommelier who can pick out dozens of flavor shades in a single sip, a sound engineer catching a stray noise on a recording you wouldn't even notice, a designer seeing the difference between two almost identical colors. There, microsensitivity is a value. People are taught to trust their sensations, to take them to absurd levels of precision. The finer your distinctions, the more valuable you become. And almost without noticing, a second picture is set beside it. When it comes to emotions, the cultural move is often the opposite. Feel too clearly where you were hurt? Stop nitpicking. Catch the slightest change in tone? Don't make things up. Know for sure that that was disrespect? You're imagining it. In one field, microsensitivity pays money and gives status. In the other, you're taught not to trust it, to write it off as your sensitivity. You come back into the scene with that background. The work environment is the same, but now it's clearer how you adjust yourself to what's customary. In your department, it's trendy to be ironic, not to take offense, to joke harshly. When you actually feel bad, the first thing you check isn't your sensations, it's the rules of the game. Everyone jokes like this here, so I'm overreacting. You listen to how others react. Someone shrugs it off, someone hits back harder, and every time an honest, "I'm not okay right now" rises in you, you remember how you're supposed to react, and you pick that. At some point, you're no longer sure where your reaction ends and the department's script begins. You think, maybe I'm just too sensitive, even though your first, fastest reaction was utterly clear and appropriate. From the outside, it looks like you fit easily into the corporate culture. Inside, you can hardly tell anymore. Is this actually normal, or just the custom of pretending it's normal?
The picture widens again. Now you can see how this is woven into the stories of whole families and cultures. In one family, kids are told from childhood, "Don't make a scene in public, don't shame us." In another, they repeat, "Men don't whine, girls should be obedient and soft." Somewhere, there are snickers at any complaint. "Oh, look at this sensitive soul, making things up again, huh?" Honest reaction is replaced by a task. Don't put anyone in an awkward position. Don't show that you're hurt if it's inconvenient for someone. Even very precise emotional signals, when you were really hurt, humiliated, devalued, get tossed into the same box labeled "nonsense, don't make a fuss." Gradually, you learn, if I feel sharply and clearly, that's not a value, it's a problem. And the only way to be normal is to cut off the sharpness of your reaction before it becomes visible. Over time, this habit stops being a response to other people's behavior and starts working in advance, inward. You catch yourself, before the meeting even starts, rehearsing lines inside. If anything, I'll say, "No big deal." If they snap at me again, I'll just smile. If I get uncomfortable, I won't show it. You're rehearsing not what you want to say about the matter, but how you'll smooth over what you might feel. Your own body turns into a source of interference. Heart raced? So I overreacted. Hands got sweaty? So I'm taking things too seriously again. Tension appeared? So I need more self-control. This way, it becomes easier to live, calmer for everyone. But the price of that, easier, is already charged to an internal account you yourself don't want to look at. And at some point, this stops looking like separate episodes of restraint. If you add them up, it becomes a system in which step by step you stop believing yourself precisely where your sensitivity is most accurate and useful. Where you clearly see the boundary, you call your view nonsense. Where you instantly recognize disrespect, you force yourself to think it's a joke. Where your body loudly says stop, you've trained yourself to answer, "Yeah, it's fine, go on." Not because you don't feel, but because you're used to thinking that the accuracy of your perception is the first thing to hide. And none of this can be called self-possession or modesty, but a habit of systematically replacing a living inner feeling with a version of yourself convenient for others. A habit of splitting yourself into the one who feels precisely and the one who says, "It's nothing, never mind," and leaving only the second one to live in the eyes of others.